All right, guys. So now that we are on YouTube, I am going to ask you to introduce yourself so we can know a little bit more about you, about each other, and of course, trying to say different things than what we're used to say, especially in these conversations, because sometimes we are so we say it automatically. So I'm fulano, I don't know, so I do that and that. But let's try to make things differently. And go ahead, Juliano. What can you say?
Okay, my name is Juliana. I am 21 years old. I like to going to the beach. I like so much the beach, swimming, things like that. The weather that's so cool, you know. I don't know, it's different. There, it's more easy to breathe, you know, and it's so good. Enjoy the weather, the things in the beach, uh, swim, things like that. And I don't know, I like to dance too. Not so much, but I don't know dance the better way. I just like to rock, you know, things like that. But I need become better, get better. But that's cool. Enjoy a meals and dance. I think it's cool. I think that's all, guys. New,
Very
that's
nice.
all.
Very nice. And is there anything specific that you like to dance? Like, I don't know, any type of dance specific?
I like to dance a lot of kinds of music. For example, I like to dance pagode, samba. I like. I learn dance that dance using the shoulders. The people use the funk, you know, to dance funk. I don't know if you know, using just the shoulders. I learned it because in the I don't know 3 months ago I used to hang out a lot in the colors, so I learned about it. But I think I like to dance samba, pagode, funk, things like that. I wanna learn about all the things, you know. I like. I am so eclectic, I think.
All right, very nice. And how about you, Iago? What can you say?
Hello, my name is Iago. I'm 28 years old. I'm an instructional designer, but I am studying to become a UX designer. But I have a particular interest about UX writing because I like to work with text. I work with text, I don't know, maybe for 8 years, and that's something that I like, and I'm trying to understand and improve so I can apply to other things, you know. Um, I I watch a lot of Drag Race. I don't know if you guys know RuPaul's Drag Race. Um, this weekend, me and my husband and some friends, we went to this drag show that we have in Fortaleza that it's called Drag Dinner, that a lot of drag queens perform. And we all, it's not a club, it's a bar, so you are sitting there with your drink and the queens are passing by you and lip sync something. It's really nice. I believe that in São Paulo, for example, we have drag brunch. Um, it's a nice event that we intend to come back more, I think. Uh, I was trying to remember other things to say, but I don't know anymore. I think that's it.
All right, very nice. And about me, let me see. I'm Tavares. I'm from São Paulo, the capital. I really like cycling. I like to dance. I used to dance actually. I don't do that anymore, unfortunately. But I used to dance. I intend to travel more. I think that would be great to start to cook more too, because I really like to especially cakes and to eat after that. That's the best thing to do. And let me see, that's it. I really like going to the beach, traveling, and also I'm very curious about many things, everything basically. So that's really everything that I can discover from new, to try some things new. Just that's the best thing for me that I can say. And that's it. I think it's hard to say, to think about different things about it, but I think that's it. I'm just telling some things about the platform. Talking Talks, that platform there where we can practice English, Spanish, Italian, French, and Mandarin. In the future, we'll be able to practice other languages too. And here's a safe place to make mistakes, guys. So now we are here to make mistakes. We are here to learn and to be understood. Because I'm not a teacher. I'm not going to teach you anything. But everybody's going to learn a lot from each other's point of views, experiences, and that's the main point. So, just to remind you guys, this is a conversation totally in English. Of course, we can say some words in Portuguese if that's necessary, but it's mainly in English. So now that I said that, as I said before, today's topic is family bonds, a really interesting theme. And let's go, let's do it. So yeah, about number one, what does family mean to you? Has your definition of family changed over the years? What do you think?
Yes, I think that family means to me that family for me is not necessarily only people that I am blood related, but other people that I am close to, not necessarily my blood family, you know. I think for me, I have friends that are my family. My husband is my family, and I think that yeah, I think for me it's that family is the people that you like and you care about, and they care about you. Not necessarily being blood related, because I don't know. I think that we heard so much that family is everything, and when we hear that, we always heard that in a situation that probably is not good. And I think that we need to separate some things. I don't know. I think that I don't have that much. I'm not that close to my blood family, to besides my parents actually. So uncles, cousins, that's something that I'm not close to them anymore. And I don't know, I think that my family today, it's my husband, my friends, and my parents, and the family of my husband. That it's just my mother and sister-in-law. That's just the two of them too, because we don't have that much contact with other other people. And yeah, I think I answered the second part of the question, because for me that definition um, changes from when I was a child, and now I think differently about that. What about you, Juliana? What do you think?
Um, I was thinking here about your answer, and it's good because when I think about it, I just thought about blood relation, you know. But I have some uh people in my family that I don't talk a lot. I almost don't talk, you know. But I have friends, close friend that I like that I talk a lot. So maybe it's like my family, you know. It's more my family that my family, some people in my family. So I think it's good to think about it. But in general, I think family for me is a place where you feel good, you know, and you like to be there with these people. Um, I think in blood relation, but I now I'm thinking to in other kinds of bonds, like friend bonds, can be maybe if you have a strong bond, like a family too. So I think it can be a lot of things now.
Yeah, I see your point, and I think like that too. Like, for example, not that the definition changed for me, but in general, I think it changed over the years. Because, for example, not over the years, but over the stages of life, basically. Because when we are younger, when we are children, actually, our family are our parents, siblings, all these people. But then when we grow up, in my point of view, and we choose to be with someone, for example, they become our family, our main family, and the other ones, of course, the parents, siblings, and all become more relatives. Not in a bad way, but because the priority, I think, is the person who you choose to be together, and of course, if you have children, all the children, and that's my point of view. You chose to create a family, to create a new family, so that's now your family. Your parents are no longer your your family. They are more like relatives, basically. That's how I see. And it's not, it doesn't mean a bad thing. It means that you chose to be with somebody and now you have this main priority in your life, so it's totally fine. And for me, that's so important to have to be conscious about it. Yeah, I think that's it. To not limitar, not to set some boundaries, because it's not about boundaries. As you said, guys, as you guys said, about people that are not even from your family, they are just they were a friend, but they are so close to you that they become a friend, a family to you, part of the family. So it's really what I think. It's, and sometimes people who are born with you, like your sister, not your sister, not your siblings, but people real close to you that should be close to you, they are not even that, não estão nem aí para você. So thinking about this, I do believe that the bond is mainly about the ones who we love the most, not related to the blood one, or any other kind of that. And Julian, about the third question, can you read it and answer?
Of course. Uh, what was the family atmosphere like growing up? For me, it was a good environment because I could learn about good values, I think like respect, treat good other person, other people in general. I think that's too good to live in the society. I think it's so important you have respect for all the kinds of person, and treat good all the person. But I can see in reality, in the society, a lot of people that don't treat good other people, that don't have respect for another people, for old people. So I think maybe it's uh have a connection if you are their environment, in family, when this kind of person was growing up. But in my case, I think it was a good place. I could learn a lot about values. So I think that's it, guys.
Yeah, I see. And I totally agree with you. Like in my case, it was basically the same thing. The main things that I learned were the values, because it's not something silly. It's what creates the what grows up with the human being. So it's not something random. It's a really important thing that we need to learn when we are younger and to teach when we are parents, for example. So doing that, I think, is the main point. And for me, it was, of course, everybody has problem, so we're not perfect at all, but that was the best one that I could have, basically. Considering the conditions and all, that was the best that I could have. And I'm totally grateful for the creation that I had, because it was not something largado. I had this uh, kind of strict creation, not creation, but while growing up. But I do believe that this was what made me like this, what um, built me like this, basically. So with all the things, that was the best option that I could have. So that's it for me. And how was that for you, like when you were younger? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you both because I think that when I think about when I was a child, mostly when I was a child, um, it was what my mom said that how she said that I should be, how I should treat other people, to respect and to be good to other people. But I have mixed feelings about that because as I grow up, becoming a teenager and understand myself better, I realized that there were some things in my creation that was too toxic for me because I grew up in a religious home and I wasn't allowed to be gay, and I am. And I have this conflictuous relationship with my parents when I was at the end of my teenage years. Um, and I don't know. I think that's something that I only overcome a few years ago. I think I have some mixed feelings about it, but I think that's something that I overcome a little bit a few years ago on therapy. Um, and let me see the question again. Yeah, and I think that it's like you said, Mel. We all have traumas from our creation. That's not a perfect creation, but I'm very grateful how my mom and my dad raised me and my sister because I think that I am what I am now. That my behavior now it's because how they teach us to do things, to be honest, to be nice, to be kind. And I think that's something that we learn from our parents. Otherwise, we can be totally different people. But yeah, and that's something that now I think that okay, everyone has traumas, but my parents did what they thought that they were doing nice, and that's okay. That's something that we talk about it now, and there are some subjects that we overcome, and there are things that are still on process, I could say.
Yeah, I see. And what you said, I think is true, like related to they did what they could, basically. So talking about their parents, like our grandparents, that was basically the same thing. Like that was probably not the perfect one, of course, but that was the best that they thought that was possible for them. That was what they think that was um, the best for their children and our parents with us. So, and one thing that I try to think is that okay, my like parents, oh, everyone is living for the first time too. So it's not like I need to cobrar a perfect reaction from them, a perfect thing that they say from them. No, because it's their first time living too, so it's necessary for us to understand more about okay, it's totally fine, some things will not go the way that I'm thinking about it, but we'll try to dar nosso jeito, to do the best of that we can, basically. And still about you, Yago. Number 4, what family values are most important to you? How do these values fit in with today's society?
I think that for me, honesty in every way possible. I'm a very honest person. I always try to be honest with the people that I live or in business, every time that I see something that it's not that okay to happening, I always like, I don't know about that, you know. But I think that honest is the, I don't know, if I could put on a list, probably would be on the top of my list, honest, you know. And being kind with other people, but I think that about that we sometimes need to draw a line in being kind with people, because there are some people that might take advantage in that, and we need to be aware of that and to cut these people off our lives when that happens. Because if someone takes advantage of you, they'll and you talk about it with the other person, and the person do it again, they'll probably will keep doing that. So yeah, I think this too. And how do these values fit in with today's society? I don't know. I think that we saw very dishonest things now. I think that's something that I am very um, careful now, is the people that I follow on social media, and if they are, I don't know the word for that, but divulgando bets, for example, because I don't think, um, we know that's not an honest thing. People are losing their monies, their properties, everything because of that propaganda. And I try to be aware of that, the people that I am following, the influencers, for example. And we see that honesty is not something that it's not a main thing, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what you said, something that I agree, talking about being kind, because we need to be kind, of course. But as you said, there are these people that can try to take advantage of you and to just step on you. So they use this of you that you thought that was a great thing, and it is. But in excess, people can take advantage of you, and they can do bad things. They can use it against you, basically. And something that I saw, I watched the video actually, and that was exactly about this. Like the father was telling at the video, like, I have a son and he's really kind, and it kind of is too kind. He's kind of too kind, but it's better for him to be too kind and learn from life with the challenges that they are facing, how to be more resilient, and to get to know this kind of person that can take advantage of them, then not to be kind at all, and to be a brutal person. That is not, of course, the main point that he wanted to teach his child. So that's something that I truly believe. And another thing, just to be different, is about the respect. In my case, that I can mention, not to respect. Okay, I'm going to respect because I need to. No, but I do believe that I see the real reason to respect other people, not only just because of my parents said. No, because I do believe that these are the necessary, are crucial for the society, actually. So having these, of course, we can meet people, we can get to know people, dishonest people, actually, that they can do bad things to you, but you need to have respect for them, even in the worst situations that can happen. And in my case, I believe that, okay, the person is doing something to me, como fala, me atrapalhar, to sabotage me for some reason. Okay, I'm not going to make it fair, But I do believe that okay, but when it happen, this person is going to pay this, like to pay this somehow. That cannot be with me, but they are going to face what they need to face. Basically, if they are doing bad things to me, they will have theirs basically. But having this in mind, I'd say the being respectful. And what's this about you, Juliano?
Uh, about this question, I think the most values for me thinking about it now is, to be honest, respectful, um, no treat good other people's, be kind too, but you have to know, be kind, but be smart too, because in Brazil, of course, it can happen if in another countries too, but in Brazil, the people said the people here have a Brazilian little way, because the people want to have advantage in another people. So I think it's important you be kind, because it's good when other people are kind with you too. So it's important uh, you treat good other people, but you have to be smart, because a lot of other people in society try have advantage, a lot. Because sometimes one person have a lot of knowledge about some kind of thing and try use this to uh, fool other person. So I think it's important, you know about it. So I think for me, it's it. Value is, to be honest, respectful, kind, and what I said before, in the society, you need be resilience, thing like that, and learn to handle, to face your problems, because a lot of other people are not respectful, try take advantage. So it's important the people in general do how overcome this, work it out, this kind of situation, face, right? So that's all that I need, that I think, I mean.
Yeah, I like the Brazilian little way that you said, the translation of it, but that's totally true about what you said. And Juliana, what do you think about number 6? What are the biggest challenges of starting a family?
um oof. I think it's you I think I have the two sides here. When you get married, I think it's maybe it's hard in the beginner. You you live uh every day with a people that have difference, so I think you have know and handle to this difference, and don't try change other people. I think it's important you respect this person and this person respect you, you know and you know to live with this people person, I mean, because you have difference, that person have difference, and it's important you know how to live. Now, about the children in general, I think for me is the hard challenge is teach these kids, because uh was we are saying before about values, respect, things like that, and when you have kids, you wanna teach these values. So I think it's hard maybe because you are teaching another person, about things for life, you know, uh, how to treat other people and respect other people, things like that. So I think for me, the hard challenge is it. That's it. Teach the right way, because As you said before, Mel, we are living for the first time, so all the experience for us is the first time. So it's hard because when family have kids and this experience is the first time. Even that this family have after other kids, but it's the first time always because it's different person. One kid is different, another kid. So I think that's it for me.
Yeah, I see your point. And about the teaching, about what you said about teaching children, I do believe that it's mainly it's one of the main points too, but it's mainly related. It's not really actually what we say. Of course, the teaching goes beyond it because kids, they usually children in general usually starts learns by the example that we do to them. So it doesn't matter if we preach, I think that's the word, preach something, so we say something, but in the na prática, it happens in another way. So we do different things, and that's what they are going to follow, basically. So I see your point, and I agree with you in that. And as you said, it's related to it's in two different points about choosing to be with somebody and then having kids because it's a completely different situation. In the first one, you are all adults, so you guys know what you're doing, and you can go separate. Anything can happen, but with children between, that's totally different because it's another person. You need to take care of them. You cannot live there for any other random person to raise them, rise them, something like that. It's not possible. And that's the problem that many people of today's society, because I do believe that people are, I don't know, they're not really caring about children. They just, have children and okay, let them be on the streets without information and without education. That's it. So that's what something really as a trouble, I'd say, is a problem that we need to face them, not to have this generation in the future building the all the things without this criticism, let's say, without this respect for others, and without an information a solid base, let's say. And what's your opinion on this, Yago? Number 6.
Uh, when I think about this question, I don't know, I immediately think about having children. Of course, if you are married and you and your husband, you and your wife, it's just the two of you, you two are a family. But when I think about this, I always think about having children because I don't know. Maybe one biggest challenge of starting a family is the financial challenge because sometimes you are used to living with your parents or you live alone and you go live with other person and sometimes the sometimes no the relationship changes when you start to live with other person if even if you are in this relationship for a long time or a short time, the relationship in living in the same house changes, and that's something natural that happens. But I think that sometimes one challenge that could be is the routine and the financial issues that you have to talk about it and you have to agree and make I don't know how to say it, but um, entrar em acordo on some topics. Um, but yeah, as I was saying, when I see this question, I think about children, having a children, and I remember this meme that I shared with a friend today. That it was like, I don't know how people my age are going to the third son, to the third child, and I am 2 months um, saving money to buy a pants. Yeah, and that's something that I always think about it because I don't know, I have this thing that in some situations I still see myself as a scared teenager, even though I'm 28. But when I see someone my age having kids, I always think how how you are psychologically prepared for it because I don't know. I when I think about it, I think that I will never be prepared to be a parent of anyone. Not even if it's for me, it has to be a clear choice because that that's not something that will happen by accident, you know. So I don't know. I always have this little panic when I see my friends getting pregnant and have children. And I don't know because I think that today it's really hard to raise kids. You have technology that are changing the relationships. And I don't know. I don't think that children have should have access to our smartphones so early, you know. Um, it's like when we were kids, people used to tell, a kid has to spend only 2 hours in front of TV, and now we have kids just like that on their own phones, and I don't know, I don't think that's healthy um, for the development of a child. Um, and I don't know, I really think about it that I don't know if I want to pass trauma to other person, you know, because of course when we grow up we are aware of the traumas that we had when we were growing up and we start to deal with that and to put on the right places these things that we passed. But when I think about that, I always think, oh, I don't think I want to pass traumas to another little person. You know? Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, and about what you said last here about passing traumas, like it's inevitable. So as you said, so if you don't want to do that, it's better not having kids because you'll do that somehow. So it's totally impossible, I'd say, to not to do that because everything can happen. So you never know what will happen. And about the technology, I do believe that it's one of the main problems that we are facing, as you said. Children, I'm not saying that children shouldn't be have information about this, but be have access, unlimited access to this, and just to they have my 4-year-old son has his own phone. No, for me it's unthinkable. I don't know if that's exists. But okay, a few moments okay, but no, not at all. And as you said, for me, one thing that I can say is 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 that is having this obligation and this responsibility to raise someone that you don't even know how to treat your own self, so you need to take care of somebody else. So this one of is one of the main points, I'd say. And of course dealing with new people, and because when you get to know a person, oh, that's okay, you change information, you say things about each other, but then when you start living together it's always different, it's never the same thing because you find different things, it's never what you imagined. So that's why it's really important to get to really know the person before getting married, for example, so that you can be aware of what is going to happen, and of course not to step any stage, let's say, be polite. I don't think that's a word, but really live each stage that you are living, and that's okay, that's not a problem, let's say. And still about Iago, number 5, related, that means mixed with number 8. What was the biggest conflict your family faced, and how did it affect your relationships? And of course, how was the passage of time affected it?
I think that for me, my biggest conflict it was when I came out to my parents because I felt like I was doing something wrong. And then I left the religion too. And everyone that I knew and was my friend stopped talking to me. Um, and that was something that really affected me, and that's something that I still think about it now because there are some things that happened that I didn't overcome. For example, I have these defense mechanisms that for me it's a lot easier to go away from other people than to talk about a thing that happened, you know. um, and that affects my family bonds for a long time. I think that I only overcome this with my parents about 2 years ago. For example, I am with my husband for 8 years, and they only met him 2 years ago, you know. So for that time, we have a difficult relationship, but it got better. But for example, I have a sister, but we don't talk anymore since I came out because she's a religious person and she doesn't agree. I don't know what she thinks, but we don't talk anymore since then. And yeah, and there are some other family bonds that were uh, I don't know how to say, but rompidos, and I don't know. I think that there are some issues for me that was really important to talk about it with my parents and to other family related people, blood related people. I don't know. Some people are not that important to me now, I think. I don't know if that's a nice thing to say, but that's it.
That's it. One thing that I can say too is about like being more, I don't know, open to new challenges. You know, sometimes one of them could be in the family in general, somebody could be more res- not resilient, but more strict about, no, I'm not going to do something because I don't know, I'm not sure about this. But you're not sure about anything. Anything can happen. So you're not sure about leaving at all. So that doesn't make sense. But that's something that affected part of it, and it's a process, as we said, as we were saying, it's a process, and the professional help can really help in these cases, in many cases. I'd say it's not something that I do. I would really like to go to therapy someday, not in the moment because it's not the right moment, but I do believe that can not fix, but that can heal so many things from the past that maybe wasn't the best thing for us, but that happened. So now all we have to do is to deal with this situation, that scar, I'd say, so that um, we don't do that again with other people, basically. So we don't pass this trauma to other people, for children, for anybody. So being wise to do that while you're maturing, I do believe that's the one of the best decisions that we can make, so that we don't stay stuck in the past all the time. We can evolve, we can go on life, and of course this won't even stop to happen. Like, some things can remain the same, but you need to be aware to understand, okay, that's the way they want to live. That's okay. I'm going to live my life because I'm not obligated to stay here forever. I'm not obligated to live in this situation forever. For example, if somebody's going through a really bad situation, they're not obligated to be stuck there all the time. So it's basically what I think. And how's that for you, Juliano?
Uh, about this question for me, the conflict for me is um was a fighting between argument in general between the uncles, mother, uncle, things like that. And it's complicated because it's when I was younger, maybe, is something that happened with the adults, and maybe the adults don't know how to separate this question because uh one adult fight argument with another adult, but the children's don't have something to do with it. So the trait, the things between the uncle and a kid should be the same, but maybe I don't know, the people se afastam, get lost the contact, sometimes. So I think it's bad because I think it's something that happens with the adults. So I think it's important the adults think, oh, they kid have nothing to do with it. So let's go have the same contact. For me, it is a normal thing, but in some of cases, the adults lost the content. And if you think, I don't know, these another adults have kids too, and if they the adult lost the contact with the kids lost the contact with another kids. Because the only way kids see another kids if the parents help take to another house, things like that. So I think it's important and do a separation here, you know.
Yeah, I see it. And it's like that. And now related to already saying about number 7, how does distance affect your family relationships? How's that for you, Juliano?
Oh, it's about the number 7.
Yeah.
Uh, I have a good story to tell about it because I was born in São Paulo, but I lived for 8 years, I don't know, in Belo Horizonte. So, but my parents, big part of my family is from São Paulo. So it's hard because when you is a big distance from of your family, a lot of your family, you don't have that kind of feeling like this is my family. Was that we are saying before, family can be blood relation, but not can be or not. So if I am living in Belo Horizonte, I didn't have this kind of relation with my family. So this people are my family, but weren't my family because I didn't have the contact. So it's hard because you grow if this kind of feeling, is my family, it's my grandmother, it's my, I don't know, family in general. So it's hard. And when I comes to here in vocation, I had this kind of feeling because now I'm playing with my, I think, cousin, prima, I forgot the word, and but it's my cousin, but I don't grow up with them. I almost never seen in my life. So for me, it's a little hard. But I comes to here with to live here again with, I don't know, 9 years, and now I am 21. So I could have more contact with my family in general, and now everything's good. But have a kind of people in my family that I don't have so contact because I pass a long time distance of these people, you know. I know these people, but it's my family, but could could be not my family, you know. It's my family, but I don't have I have friends that I have more contact. So maybe my friend is more my family than this kind of person because I don't have a lot of contact, you know. Maybe on birthday in Facebook, this people say to me, "Happy birthday." This is the only contact that I have, you know, things like that.
Yeah, just because of the notification. So I,
Yeah.
I relate to that. And yeah, talking about this, for me it's easy. Like for example, for me it's easy to cut relationships with family, not family, like especially with other people that are not from my family, but with my family too, because like if something is making me sick, if something is making me feel bad, just okay, I don't want anything from you, just go live your life, let me live my life. For me it's so easy to do that, especially of course with people that are not from my family. But even if that's from my family, I'm not going to live in a toxic place just because you are part of my family. No, I'm going to live my life in the best way that I can. If that does not include you, or you change, but if you don't want to change, if you don't want to live a better life, okay, but let me live mine, and that's it. Nothing else to say, basically. And how's that for you, Iago?
I think I am totally at the same boat as you because I have this thing too that I cut off people very easily if they are not nice to me. And I think that that's a positive side of doing that, but sometimes that's a negative side too because I don't know, that some relationships that we can talk about it and overcome things, but there are some other situations that you can forgive and forget, because sometimes you can say, oh, I forgive you for that, and but as you say, let me live my life away from you. And that's not forgetting. And I am on the same boat as you, but being specific um, about the question, I think the distance affects a lot the relationship with my family. Besides my parents, as I said before, I don't have that much contact with other people from my family that I am blood related, cousins, aunts, and other parents. Um, and yeah, today I live in another city that is not my hometown, and I don't know, I think I don't go back in my hometown for maybe since 2018, so it's a little while. um yeah, so the physical distance affects a lot. I don't know if I lived there or in a city that was closer. I believe that there are some people that I would talk more and be more close, but I don't know, the physical distance affected a lot.
Yeah, let's see. So guys, I wish we had more time to discuss even more about this topic. Really interesting topic that we usually don't talk too much, and especially because it's we just live the daily life and we do not stop to really reflect about it. But thank you very much for being here again in another immersion. And of course, I just sent the survey link on the chat. So if you guys can, please just leave a comment. And we have 2 minutes. So I think if somebody can tell us what you learned in each person 1 minute, I think that would be great. So Iago, what did you learn today in 1 minute?
I think that I learned that we have to I don't know. I, I think I think that what I learned today is that the family can be anyone that we care about, not only people that comes from the same blood that us. That's something that we discussed very early, and I think that about conflict specifically, I think that that's something that we there are some things that we need to overcome when we grown up because as we said, our parents, our closer family, while we were growing up, they did what they could be to raise us well. And I think that we have to separate some things when we grown up and we understand some things, you know. And of course, doing therapy helps to process some things.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you very much for sharing this. And go ahead, Juliana. What did you learn?
I like this conversation because I could learn and think more about the meaning of family because can be more than just a relation, blood relation, you know, it can be a person that you like so much, things like that. So I could think more about the meaning, general meaning, you know. So I like this conversation.
Very nice. Thank you very much again, and see you guys in any